So we're going to do a little bit different, but basically the same steps. So write down the formula that's needed. How do we find surface area of a prism? What is the formula? Oh, let's start with, Mason, might as well get you done and out of the way. What is it? Big PH plus 2 big B, okay? And we want to stress that because of the fact that we have a big B and we have a little b, don't we? Okay? So, next we are going to circle our triangle and the numbers that we are going to use for our P and our big B. Okay? Now, we've talked about this before, but somebody by the name of Amante, tell me, how do we find perimeter of any shape? Add all sides. So on this one, you have a side of your triangle here, a side of your triangle here, and a side of your triangle here. Well, I don't have a number on this side. Do I? Yeah. What is my number on that side? 14. 14, correct. This would move over and be right here. So I can cross that off. Okay? Alright, so perimeter is add all sides, so I'm going to add everything in orange. So I've got 12 plus 14 plus 8. So 12 plus 14 plus 8 is what, A Blue? 34. Then I have to find my big B. I need to go to that wonderful formula chart for a triangle. So this is the number one mistake people make, is that half. They forget that half. So they are using the same formula for a rectangle as they do for a triangle. And you got to remember, they're different. So we've got 1/2 times little b times h. Now, on a triangle, any triangle, the height of the base is always attached by a right angle. Do you remember on a right triangle Pythagorean, the sides of the triangle always were attached by the right angle? Okay? And then C was the diagonal. Well, if you notice, this is a diagonal. Okay? This is your height of your triangle right here. So that is my H for my big B. Remember, everything on P and big B we are using from the base. Okay? So I need this number, which is connected to what? That number. And for some reason, I have the wrong key here. And so I need 8. So now I need 1/2 times 8 times 10. Okay? Now I've done everything. These are all part of my base. So the only number I have left is going to go where? Can anybody tell me? What was it before? When we drew the base and we put our numbers on the rectangle, there was always one number left on the rectangle. The height of the prism, that's correct. So this is the height of your prism, or 11, and sometimes it's just easier to just go ahead and put it over there. Okay? So we've got 1/2 times 8 times 10, and most of you should know by now that 1/2 is equivalent to 0.5, and it doesn't matter how you put that in your calculator except for the fact that that 1/2 I want in parentheses if you use it as a fraction. So 1/2 times 8 times 10 is what, Jamarcus? 40. Okay? So I know now my P is 34 times 11 plus 2 times 40. Okay? So 34 times 11 is what, Carlos? How much? 374 plus 2 times 40 is what, Andrea? 80. And then we add the two together. 374 plus 80 is what, DeKalbian? 454. So there again, 454 is our total, and the pH part is what your lateral is, which is 374. It's the pH part. You cover everything after your plus sign, and that last number will always be your lateral. Okay? All right, if you notice, this one is shaped a little differently, but the same kind of premise. All right? I have a triangle right here that is my base. And sometimes they put them standing up, so they can be all kinds of different forms of those triangles. Do you see where the right angle is? So now, this number 13 is going to come down here. I'm going to cross it off, and I'm going to circle my base, and I've got S is equal to pH plus 2 big B. What is the height of my prism, Braxton? Height of my prism is different than height. The height of the prism is not included in my base. Yes. Plus, so now I know that that was the height of my prism, and because it's the only number I didn't circle. Okay, so my P is going to be the 3 numbers attached to my triangle, 12 plus 13 plus 5, which is what? Oh, Elena's not here. Somebody said it out loud. 30. Big B, what's the formula I'm using for big B? Hector. Little b. And so I'm going to do 1/2 times, what is my rest of my formula, Logan? What two sides are attached by the right angle? Those are your base and your height on your triangle. Okay? All right? So you're going to use 5 times 12. And just think about it this way. If I had taken this triangle and turned it this way, wouldn't it be fitting right there? Okay? So that right angle always attaches the base and the height of your triangle. So 1/2 of 5 times 12 is what, Braylon? Well, I need an answer for 1/2 of 5 times 12. It's equal to 30. So now I've got 30 for a perimeter and 2 times 30 for a base, don't I? Okay, so 30 times 22 is what, Jenny? 660 plus 2 times 30 is what, Fatima? $60. 660 plus 60 is 720. So total is 720, and my lateral is 660. Okay? What? Okay? Not that difficult, right? Especially if you just kind of follow. The issue is that there are different types of triangles and that they are shaped differently, and that you have to know that what is the height of the triangle versus what is the height. Okay? So make sure you're circling your bases so the height of the prism and the height of the triangle do not get confusing. All right? And that is it.